All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to crack the code on sports betting. I'm talking about moving past just gut feelings and lucky jerseys. We're going to break down the actual strategies that can give you a real edge, and it all starts by thinking like a strategist, not just a fan. You know the feeling, right? It's that question every single one of us is asked, usually after a bet goes south. You look at the bookies, and they just seem like this giant, unbeatable force. Like the house always wins. And look, you're not alone in thinking that. So many people get worn down and start to believe that making a real long-term profit is just a pipe dream. But here's a thought. What if that's exactly what the bookies want you to believe?
And that, right there, is the entire point. Beating the bookies consistently isn't about some miracle long shot coming in. It's about building a smart, disciplined strategy that you stick to, day in and day out. That's how you get an edge.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to tackle that myth of the unconquerable bookie. Then, we'll get into how to build a winning profile from the ground up. After that, we'll cover the smarter betting strategies, how to find your mathematical edge, and finally, how to put it all together for your next smart bet. Let's do this.
First things first, before you even think about putting your money down, we've got to lay the foundation for success. Seriously, this stuff comes way before you even look at the odds. It all starts with the right habits and the right mindset. These 4 steps are your pillars. 1. Have clear goals. Know what you're trying to achieve. 2. Become an expert in just 1 or 2 sports. Don't spread yourself thin. 3. And this one is absolutely crucial. You have to sign up to multiple bookies. Shopping around for the best odds is non-negotiable. That's where your profit margin lives. If you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser. And finally, number 4, keep detailed records. You can't improve what you don't measure.
Okay, so you've got the foundation. Now let's talk about the actual strategies you'll use. And this is all about one thing, protecting your bankroll. Because, let's be real, you can't make any money if you've got no money left to bet with.
This chart just nails the difference, doesn't it? A gambler throws money on a hunch, gets emotional, and chases their losses. A strategist? No way. They have a reason for every single bet, they protect their bankroll like it's their job, and they are playing the long game for steady, consistent profit.
All right, listen up, because this might be the most important rule in all of sports betting: bankroll management. This isn't a suggestion, it's the law. You only, and I mean only, stake about 1 to 2% of your entire bankroll on a single bet. Why? Because this discipline is what lets you survive a bad run. And trust me, bad runs will happen.
Now let's look at 3 simple tactics that are incredibly powerful. First, bet on singles. Forget those crazy multi-team parlays. Keep it simple. Second, stick to that low staking plan we just talked about. Be conservative. And third, always compare the odds. Finding a slightly better price at a different bookie is pure profit. To do this right, you need options. And if you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser.
Okay, now we're getting into the stuff that really separates the pros from the amateurs. We're talking about finding your edge. And the secret weapon here isn't some inside tip, it's just simple math. Don't worry, it's not scary. It's your most powerful tool.
This, my friends, is the holy grail. It's called value betting. And here's the secret. It's not about just picking winners. It's about finding times when you believe the bookie has priced a bet wrong. When you think the real chance of something happening is higher than what the odds are telling you, that's a value bet. That is your edge.
Let's make this super simple. The bookie is offering 2.50 odds here. To figure out what that means, you just do 1 divided by 2.50. That gives you 0.4, or 40%. So the bookie is basically saying Inter has a 40% chance to win. The big question for you is, based on your research, do you think their real chance is higher than 40%? If you think it's more like 50%, then boom, you've just found a value bet.
So you might be wondering, okay, where do I even start looking for this stuff? I mean, what's a good, practical kind of bet to focus on when you're just getting started with this strategy?
A lot of the time, the answer is in two-way markets. Think about bets like over or under a certain number of goals. There are only 2 outcomes. You're basically starting with a coin flip chance, close to 50-50. That makes your job so much easier. You only need to find a small edge to tip those scales in your favor. It's the perfect training ground.
Okay, we have covered a ton. The mindset, managing your money, the math. So now let's pull all of this together into a simple checklist you can use before you make your next smart bet.
This is your pre-bet checklist. From now on, before you place a bet, you ask yourself these questions. Did I do my homework? Did I actually find mathematical value, or am I just betting on the favorite? Am I sticking to my staking plan? And am I tracking everything so I can analyze my performance? And I'm not just talking wins and losses. I mean your ROI, your return on investment, and your yield. That's how the pros think. And of course, to put this into practice, if you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser.
So let's end with this. Anybody can get lucky once, but luck always runs out. A good strategy, a disciplined approach, that's what works over the long haul. That's what's timeless. So the only question left is, what are you going to do now? What's your next smart bet going to be?